Welcome to the world of Vikings, battles, and quests for glory. Welcome to the world of Vinland Saga. In the vast landscape of manga and anime, it's no small feat to capture the attention of audiences worldwide. In an arena filled with captivating stories, groundbreaking animation, and intriguing characters, standing out is a challenge that few can surmount. Yet amidst this vast ocean of narratives, there are a handful of stories that truly manage to rise above the rest. Their engrossing narratives, compelling characters, and thought-provoking themes set them apart, creating a lasting imprint on the minds and hearts of their audiences. Vinland Saga is one such exceptional against the backdrop of the Viking era. Vinland Saga is more than just a tale of epic battles, fierce warriors, and legendary conquests. It's a narrative that dives deep, reaches far into the complex human psyche, exploring intricate themes such as violence, trauma, and the repercussions of warfare. Through its rich, vivid portrayal of a time steeped in conflict and conquest, Vinland Saga offers a profound commentary on the human condition, compelling the audience to introspect and provoke thought. But what truly sets Vinland Saga apart isn't just its painstaking historical authenticity, or its exploration of universal human themes. It's the series' unwavering commitment to character development that truly distinguishes it within the sphere of manga and anime. In Vinland Saga, characters aren't mere caricatures or archetypes. They are real, fleshed-out individuals, each with their unique complexities, contradictions, and individualistic nuances. They are crafted with a depth and complexity that goes beyond the surface, revealing a raw humaneness that resonates with the audience. And at the heart of this compelling narrative, we find a young Viking warrior, a protagonist who symbolizes the depth and complexity of the series. This central character starts as a fiery youth, fueled by a thirst for revenge and the warrior ethos, but evolves into a man of peace, driven by a desire for redemption and quest for a better world. His journey is one of transformation, of growth, and of self-discovery. It's a journey that captivates the audience, compelling them to reflect upon their own lives, their own journeys. The world of Vinland Saga is immersive and gripping, drawing audiences into a time of Vikings, battles, and quests for glory. Through its narrative, it offers more than just entertainment. It offers an exploration of the human condition, a glimpse into the complexities of the human psyche, and a commentary on the legacy of war. It's more than just a manga or an anime. It's a narrative transcends boundaries, provokes thought, and leaves a lasting impact. At the center of this narrative, we find a young Viking warrior named Thorfinn. In the harsh world of the Vikings, Thorfinn is raised as a warrior. This brutal and unforgiving environment shapes him into a formidable force. Born into a culture that prides honor above all else, achieved through feats of courage and bravery, Thorfinn's life is deeply entrenched in the Viking ethos. These warrior principles of courage, valor, and revenge become the driving force behind his existence. As a child, Thorfinn's existence is plunged into the cold world of warfare by a singular event, his father's death. His father, Thors, is betrayed and brutally slain by Askeladd, an act that shakes the very foundations of Thorfinn's world. The loss of his father ignites within him an undying, unquenchable thirst for revenge. This event sets him on a relentless, unwavering path of vengeance, morphing him into a fierce and ruthless warrior. From tender young age, Thorfinn's life is defined by the cold, unyielding edge of a sword, his days spent training and preparing for the moment he can finally avenge his father. Every breath, every move he makes is consumed by the fire of revenge that burns within his heart. This uncontrollable flame transforms him into a cog in the wheel of ceaseless violence that encapsulates the Viking world. His skills are honed on the battlefield, his spirit hardened by the harsh realities of loss and betrayal. His goal becomes singular, his resolve concrete: to kill Askeladd, the man responsible for the cold-blooded murder of his father. Yet beneath the hardened shell, the young warrior, there's a flicker of something more, a glimmer of an alternate path, a different way of life, embedded deep within his heart by the very man he seeks to avenge. His father, Thors, was a man of peace, a warrior who renounced a life of violence to live a life of tranquility. His teachings, initially at odds with Thorfinn's path of revenge, remain embedded within the young Viking, dormant and forgotten, waiting for the right moment to emerge. As we follow Thorfinn's story through the brutal realities of his world, we watch a young man shaped by his environment, carrying within him the potential for change. His life is not just driven by revenge, but also a journey of growth and transformation. His tale stands as a testament to the enduring influence of a father's teachings, even in the most unlikely of circumstances. We see a young man not just driven by the desire for revenge, but also by the hope for a different, guided by the principles instilled in him by his father. But the seeds for a different path were sown by the man Thorfinn seeks to avenge, his father Thor's. Enter Thorfinn's father, a man who left his warrior past to preach a philosophy of peace. He was a figure of immense respect, known throughout the land as the Troll of Jom. Known for his might, Thor's was not just a man, but a legend who commanded fear and respect as a former Viking warrior. His strength, his unparalleled prowess in battle, his ability to lead and his indomitable spirit were renowned far and wide, making him a subject of many a Viking saga. But one day, this revered warrior chose to turn his back on his life of violence, bloodshed, and war to walk a path of peace and non-aggression. He discarded his weapons, his armor, choosing instead a life of tranquility, of contemplation, and of love for all life forms. Thor's evolved from a warrior to a philosopher, with his ideas of peace and love for life starkly contrasting with the prevailing Viking ethos of the time. The Vikings, a race of warriors, prized courage, valor in battle, and saw glory and honor in death. Their beliefs were centered around their prowess in battle and their ability to conquer and subjugate. But Thor's saw differently. He saw a path. Thor's believed that every life was precious, every heartbeat mattered, and every breath was a celebration of life itself. He preached that true warriors need not brandish their swords to prove their strength, but rather their actions, their words, and their beliefs should reflect their honor. This belief of Thor's was radical, revolutionary, and was not one that was immediately accepted by those around him, especially his son Thorfinn. Thorfinn, a young and eager warrior at heart, driven by the Viking ethos of honor, revenge, and glory in battle, yearned to prove himself. He longed the thrill of combat, the glory of victory, and the honor of a warrior's death. These desires were further fueled by his father's death, pushing him to seek out combat and victory. Thor's teachings about the true nature of being a warrior, about restraining one's violent impulses, and the importance of valuing life seemed to fall on deaf ears. Thorfinn sought to prove himself again and again on the battlefield, to prove that he was a true Viking, a worthy successor to his father. However, Thor's teachings were not completely lost. Deep within Thorfinn's heart, he held on to his father's words, his teachings, and his beliefs. Thorfinn remembered his father's strength, his courage, his perseverance, and his conviction that a warrior's true calling was not in violence, but in compassion. These teachings, initially overshadowed by Thorfinn's desire for revenge, slowly began to seep into his consciousness. They were like a seed, planted deep within his heart, waiting for the right conditions, the right moment to sprout and grow. Thor's untimely death was a catalyst, a spark that ignited Thorfinn's journey of revenge. But his teachings lingered, slowly guiding Thorfinn towards a profound transformation, a change that would redefine his very existence. His philosophy of peace, initially at odds with Thorfinn's beliefs, slowly began to form the cornerstone of Thorfinn's own philosophy. And so, even in death, Thor's continues to guide his son, leading him away from the path of violence and towards a more peaceful existence. Thorfinn's path takes a dramatic turn when he is enslaved. Suddenly, this once fierce and vengeful warrior is plunged into a life that strips away his autonomy and forces him to face his existence's ugly truths. His days are filled with hardships and cruelty, but these trying times serve as a catalyst for profound change and self-realization. His existence as a slave, while horrific and agonizing, becomes a crucible in which his character is tested. The burning rage that was the lifeblood of his every decision begins to be replaced by a burgeoning comprehension of the devastating implications of violence. Thorfinn observes the suffering and the wreckage that violence engenders, not only for those who bear the brunt of it, but also for its practitioners. Gradually, he comes to understand that violence breeds a cycle of never-ending and regret, a cycle that only engenders further violence. This insight does not come easily. It is a process fraught with hardship and self-doubt. Thorfinn is forced to confront the specters of his past and his previously cherished convictions. He wrestles his guilt over the lives he has taken and the trail of destruction he has left in his wake. It's a bitter truth to embrace, but it's this very bitterness that catalyzes his transformation. During his time in captivity, he is exposed to the benevolence and resilience of those around him. He discovers that genuine strength does not always rest in a warrior's power, but often in the quiet courage of those who persevere, those who maintain hope even when despair lurks nearby. This revelation shakes his beliefs to their very foundations, compelling him to question what truly constitutes strength and honor. In this chaotic tempest of self-discovery, Thorfinn starts to see an alternate path, one that deviates from the course of violence and vengeance. He is drawn towards his father's philosophies, the teachings of peace that he once belittled. Once considered mere idealistic fantasies, these teachings now resonate deeply within him. The journey towards pacifism isn't an easy one. It calls for immense inner strength, the courage to question old beliefs, and the resilience to endure self-doubt and struggle. Despite these challenges, Thorfinn willingly chooses this path, inspired by his newfound perception of revenge's futility and his for a more peaceful world. Thorfinn emerges from this crucible a changed man. He is no longer the warrior stoked by vengeance. Instead, he assumes a fresh role as a pacifist, guided by ideals of peace and redemption. His transformation, though fraught with pain, lights the way to a more hopeful future, a future where the cycle of violence can finally cease. No longer fueled by revenge, Thorfinn is reborn as a pacifist. Once a young warrior, Thorfinn's journey takes a turn, molding him into a man of peace, a stark contrast to the violence that once defined him. His transformation is not marked by a sudden flash of enlightenment, but a gradual realization, a slow chipping away of his former self, until all that remains is a man earnestly committed to peace and redemption. His newfound determination is a testament to the teachings of his father, a nod to the philosophy of Thor's, the man he once sought to avenge with such fervor. Thorfinn carries his father's message deep within the core of his being, the words, "A true warrior needs no sword," becoming his guiding principle. He has stepped away from the lust for glory on the battlefield, channeling his efforts towards creating a world devoid of violence, a world that reflects the Vinland his father always dreamt of. In this pursuit of peace, Thorfinn encounters new trials and tribulations. He must traverse a world still deeply entrenched in violence, a world that finds his pacifism puzzling, even threatening. Yet, Thorfinn remains unwavering in his conviction, his resolve as strong as the mightiest of warriors. He chooses to respond to aggression with understanding, to counter hatred with kindness. He transforms into a beacon of change, a living challenge to the status quo, inspiring those around him question their own beliefs and principles. Thorfinn's dramatic transformation is marked by his fervent quest for redemption. Haunted by the memories of lives he has taken, he seeks to atone for his past actions. His path to redemption lies not in pleading for forgiveness, but in his steadfast commitment to create a world where no one else has to experience the pain and sorrow he has endured. His is his journey, a journey that is far from its end. The new Thorfinn is a testament to the potential for change, a beacon of hope in worlds scarred by violence and destruction. His story serves as a poignant reminder that it's never too late to make a choice, to choose peace over violence, love over hatred. He embodies the teachings of his father, becoming a living testament to Thor's philosophy. As he walks this path of peace, each step he takes distances him further from the young warrior he once was. Each moment of his journey is a tribute to his father's teachings, steeped in the of Thor's. Each decision he makes is a conscious act, driven by his commitment to create a world that reflects the peaceful Vinland his father envisaged. As he walks this path, he becomes a beacon of hope, inspiring those around him to challenge the prevailing, to question the necessity of violence and hatred. His transformation is a testament to resilience, a demonstration of the human capacity for change. His journey is a powerful testament to the promise of a better world, a world where violence and hatred are replaced by peace and understanding. He is embodiment of his father's teachings and a beacon of hope for a world still mired in violence. Thorfinn's story is one of transformation, of redemption, and of hope. It is a reminder that it's never too late to change, to make a choice, to choose peace over violence, understanding over hatred. It is a testament to the potential in all of us, possibility for change, the promise of a better world. But how does this new Thorfinn compare to the young warrior we first met? Thorfinn's evolution from warrior to pacifist is a journey that reflects the themes of Vinland Saga. Initially, we are introduced to Thorfinn, a young, belligerent manifestation of the Viking spirit, ensnared in a perpetual cycle of combat and retribution. He's portrayed as a formidable warrior, ruthlessly devoted to acquiring honor and glory on the bloody fields of war. This image, however, starkly contrasts with the Thorfinn we encounter later, an image more at peace with himself and the world around him. As we navigate through the series, we begin to observe a slow and deliberate transformation unfolding within Thorfinn. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. Rather, it is a result of an ongoing process, ignited by a sequence of events and key realizations that force Thorfinn to reevaluate his perception of the world around him. When Thorfinn finds himself condemned to a life of slavery, he begins to comprehend the barren nature of violence and revenge. He experiences firsthand the impact of these cycles, which becomes a catalyst and marks the initiation of his transformation journey. We see the lessons imparted by his father, Thor's, before his death starting to take root in Thorfinn's consciousness. His transformation signaled by the metaphorical journey he embarks upon, transitioning from the cold steel of his sword to the warm embrace of his father's teachings. In the aftermath of his transformation, we see a new Thorfinn, a symbol of peace and tranquility. High honor and glory are abandoned as he renounces his quest for revenge, seeking instead a path of redemption and self-forgiveness. Thorfinn starts to manifest the teachings of his father in his actions, striving to liberate himself from the shackles of violence that once characterized him. He now dons a new role, not just as a warrior, but as a peacemaker, marking of the most profound character developments in the entire series. This evolution of Thorfinn's character serves as a critique of the glorification of violence and warfare, a theme that is consistently examined and questioned throughout Vinland's saga. It brings to light the problematic nature of the glorification of war present in Viking culture, presenting a more peaceful alternative rooted in understanding and reconciliation. Thorfinn's transformation from a warrior to a pacifist symbolizes more than just personal growth. It represents a shift in the series' broader narrative, subtly challenging the values and norms prevalent within the Viking society. But what does this transformation mean for Thorfinn's future? As Thorfinn sets his sights on a new land of peace, his journey is far from over. His transformation from a revenge-driven warrior to a pacifist is not an abrupt change, but rather a profound evolution. It acts as a testament to the enduring power of peace and redemption, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness, violence, and heartache. Thorfinn's past is marked by the relentless brutality of the battlefield, its shadows still haunting him. This past now serves as a stark contrast to his envisioned future, a future that he envisages filled not with the clangor of swords, but with the harmonious symphony of tranquility and harmony. He dreams of a world where disputes aren't resolved with bloodshed but with dialogue and understanding, a world where power isn't determined by the might of one's weapons but by the depth of one's compassion. But the path to peace, just like the path to any worthwhile goal, is riddled with impediments and trials. It is not a straight, well-lit path, but rather a winding, dark road filled with uncertainties and challenges. The future of Vinland Saga is as much about Thorfinn's personal journey as it is about his dream to create a world where peace prevails. The epic transformation of Thorfinn has set the stage for an engaging narrative that delves deeper into the psyche of humanity. It explores themes such as forgiveness, redemption, and the pursuit of a more profound, meaningful existence. In this narrative, Thorfinn's choices and actions aren't just shaping his destiny, but are also molding the lives of those around him, and potentially the course of history itself. His future is a beacon of hope in a world marred by violence and conflict. It is a vision of a society where power is not measured by the might of one's sword, but by the strength of one's convictions. In this vision, Thorfinn is not just a warrior or a pacifist. He is a pioneer, a trailblazer, leading those around him towards a brighter, more peaceful world. However, the road to peace is fraught with obstacles. Thorfinn will face trials that will test his resolve, his beliefs, and his commitment to his newfound philosophy. These challenges will not be battles fought swords and shields, but battles fought within the mind and the heart. These are battles that will push Thorfinn to his limits, forcing him to confront his past, his guilt, and his own capacity for forgiveness. Facing such challenges, Thorfinn will have to dig deep within himself, searching for the strength to overcome his own demons, the courage to stay true to his path. But this is the journey that Thorfinn has chosen. This is a journey of redemption, of transformation, and of hope. A journey that encapsulates the essence of Vinland Saga's narrative. A journey that promises to captivate, challenge, and inspire us. A journey that is more than just a personal quest, but a testament to the enduring power of and redemption. The saga of Thorfinn is a tale of struggle and triumph, a reflection of the human spirit's resilience and determination. Even in the face of adversity, he remains steadfast in his pursuit, providing a shining example for us all. His story teaches us about the strength of conviction, the power of forgiveness, and the importance of hope. His journey serves as a reminder that even in the most dire of a single individual can make a difference, can bring about a change. In the world of Vinland Saga, Thorfinn's journey continues, a testament to the enduring power of peace and redemption.